What is going on? How's everybody doing today? Hope everybody's had a good day so far. And I hope everybody had a good week because we're at the end of the week now. But Miami just went out and made a very, very big, I'd say massive splash at edge rusher position where you're losing some talent. So I do want to come on here and talk about that. Miami fans, before we do start, I want to greatly appreciate all you guys. You guys showed me massive amounts of support on the last few videos that I posted. I know I got gained a lot of subscribers from you guys as well, so I greatly appreciate everybody who did drop subscribe to the channel and who's gonna keep watching this content. So yeah, lots of Miami stuff on the way. So if you are a Miami fan and you do enjoy this video at the end, I greatly appreciate if you do consider subscribing to the channel. And yeah, not gonna keep you here for too long, so I'm not gonna go too in depth, but I kind of want to give you some numbers and kind of what to expect out of Damon Wilson because I believe this absolutely massive pickup for the Miami Hurricanes on their path back to a national championship in 2026-2027 season. So let's get straight into it. So as of yesterday, Miami just went out and picked up Damon Wilson, the second from Missouri, transfer from Missouri, one of the top edge rushers and one of the more highly touted edge rushers in the entire country. So if you are subscribed to the channel, you saw last week I did post a video, or earlier this week actually, I posted a video about some Miami targets, and Damon Wilson was one of those main targets. And I know a lot of Miami fans were highly on board with it. I got great feedback on Damon Wilson, and Miami fans want Damon Wilson in the comments. So that's awesome to see. And you went out and you got him. This is a slam dunk move by Mario Cristobal. So Damon Wilson's a guy who started his career over at Georgia, and he later transferred to Missouri, where he had his breakout year this past year. Now, obviously, at Miami. So if you do look at his 2025 season, he was second team All SEC honors, 9 sacks, and had one of the highest pressure totals in the entire conference during that season last year. You know, if you look at what if you look at what Miami's losing in the offseason to the NFL draft, you're losing Reuben, Bain, you're losing Hakeem, Mezidor, who are two absolutely crucial spots on that defense, and very hard guys to replace, I would say, because you got crazy production out of both of those. So when you're rebuilding a defensive line that you're losing two guys very high up in the NFL draft, I can't say I think you can't really get a better option than going out and getting Damon Wilson. And you know, he's expected to fill that gap, and I think maybe you even see higher production. Not high, I wouldn't say higher production because that's going to be very hard. I'd say same level production. I think Damon Wilson is that good. I think his ceiling is that high. You know, he's seen as a key transfer addition for the 2026 entire transfer portal class. He is one of the higher rated transfer portal prospects in the entire country so far. And, you know, that's going to give him a very proven player at the edge position to fill those massive gaps. He had a very big market. You know, LSU made a strong push. I forgot what other schools, but there were some big schools. Texas Tech made a big push. Miami was making a big push, and Miami comes out on top. I got to think that national championship game definitely helped. You got to think that production of Reuben Bain and Hakeem Mezidor did help Damon Wilson get persuaded to go over to Miami, and I think that's absolutely incredible. I think that's very good for the Hurricanes. It's very good for the Hurricanes' future. You know, he was a former 5-star recruit coming out of high school, and he was a top 50 player nationally in that 2023 class. So I do want to look at his 2025 stats where he played 13 games, had 23 tackles. I think like a good amount of those were solo, I think. Oh, never mind. 9 solo tackles. Sorry, I have it pulled up right here. Only 9 solo tackles, but still, I mean, not bad for an edge rusher. 14 assisted tackles, obviously. 9 sacks, which was third in the entire SEC. He had 9.5 tackles for loss, which is incredible. 1 interception, 2 passes deflected, and 54 quarterback pressures according to PFF, which is absurd. Like I said, you're getting a guy who's going to get to the quarterback. You know, that's really one of his biggest parts of his game is he has very good pass rush instincts, and he's going to get to the quarterback. He's going to disrupt the quarterback. He's going to roll right through the offensive line. He's going to force some bad throws on the quarterback. He's going to get you sacks. I think his sack numbers are even going to go up because he's going to be playing with probably more talent on the other side of him than he did at Missouri, which is going to cause for less double teams because you have to worry about some other guys as well. And I think you're going to see Damon Wilson's production step up even more. And I think that breakout season last year is going to get even bigger this year. If you look at his pressure percentages, he had one of the higher pressure percentages out of any edge in the entire SEC. And he also adds some versatility, being able to play defensive end as well. Like, I'm talking hand in the dirt defensive end, outside of the edge or inside of the edge rusher. So I think this is absolutely massive move for Miami. You're filling some very big gaps that you really needed to fill, and you got one of the best players in the entire transfer portal. Miami fans, you should be absolutely thrilled for this. Like I said, I think Damon Wilson's going to be a superstar. This is a guy who is most likely going to go pretty high up in the draft either next year or year after. And like I said, I really do think that you're getting an outstanding player here, one of the top players, possibly one of the top players in the country, and he's going to, like I said, be getting a lot of draft buzz for the first round next year. And I also want to point out that he's in Florida. So we've seen Mario Cristobal target a lot of guys in the portal that are from Florida. You saw him target Jordan Seaton as well, and I believe Miami made a massive push to get Jordan Seaton, but ultimately LSU came out on top there. But man, Damon Wilson, you can't be mad whatsoever at this. You're getting an absolute star as an edge rusher, and you don't really have to worry about the production on edge anymore. You don't have to worry as much of losing Hakeem Mezidor and losing Reuben Bain, because you just got a very, very good replacement who I think is going to reach that same or a similar level to those guys. So this is an outstanding move for Miami. So I know I rambled a lot, but if you guys did enjoy this video, I'd greatly appreciate it if you guys considered subscribing to the channel. Like I said, got a lot of Miami content coming. Miami's still attacking the transfer portal. We're still kind of monitoring that Darian Mensah situation. You know, there's some weird stuff going on where he has a lawsuit with Duke now. I do ultimately think that he will end up at Miami still. And if he does, man, this Miami team is going to be dangerous next year. Absolutely dangerous. But anyway, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Like I said, greatly appreciate it if you consider subscribing to the channel. And let me know in the comments right now. Drop a comment right now. I want to see everybody comment. Let me know what you think of this pickup. Let me know if there's anybody else out in the transfer portal that you hope the Hurricanes go out and get. So, yeah, that's it for this one. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace. Lots more on the way.